Step 1. Start with a light base color. This changes from person to person, but I generally opt for something on the lighter side. Choosing a color that isn't too light or too dark as your base would be a safe bet. Step 2. Placing the main shadow. I'll add a multiply layer in a grayish-orange tone and then drop the opacity. I erase some parts according to the light source and then use the airbrush tool with a more saturated color to touch up the borders. The color I choose changes depending on the background and the overall tone of the piece, but I tend to gravitate towards warmer colors. Step 3. Adding light. I use two kinds of light, main and secondary. Main light is what I use for the front part of the hair, and secondary light is more of a rim light that shines behind the subject and on the edges of the hair. I use contrasting warm and cool colors for these two styles of light. Step 4. Detailing the shadows. I take my time adding detailed shadows to every tuft of hair while trying my best to avoid making the shadows too dark. Step 5. Merge everything. After merging all the layers, I redraw the shapes and use adjustment layers like curves and color balance to polish everything up. This step is the part where the magic happens, so be sure to pay attention towards the end of the video. Now, let's put these steps into action. So the first thing I do after I take care of the base colors is decide the direction of my light source. In this case, I imagine the spotlight hitting the right side of my character from slightly behind it. Then I go over the spots getting hit by light with the airbrush tool while using bright colors. I'll set the uppermost layer to multiply, pick a grayish tone, and paint the entire character with it. I then erase the areas that I think are getting hit by light. A key point here is to keep the shapes as simple and geometric as possible. After that, I'll lock the shadow layer and select all the areas with hair using the lasso tool. Back to the airbrush tool so I can paint the insides of the hair with orange tones and the edges of the hair with yellow tones. This is a stylistic choice, but personally, I like using skin tones when painting areas where the hair touches the skin because it gives a transparent feel. For the main light, I use the lasso tool to identify and shape out where I want my highlights to be on the front portion of the hair. To get some nice contrast going on with the character's warmer tones, I use the cooler color like blue for the secondary light. Don't panic if your drawing looks messy at this stage. It's okay if everything isn't accurate and neat for now. Keep in mind that 9 times out of 10, the initial stage of your artwork is going to be filled with things that aren't exactly the way you want them to be. The key is to be aware of these things and try your best to fix them. After taking care of the essential elements like highlights and shadows, it's time to add more details and get down to fixing all the issues in the drawing. To do that, I merge all the layers, including the line art layer. The first thing that comes to mind at this point is that the character's overall color palette is a bit too dark. To fix this, I brighten things up a bit using curves. Afterwards, I'll start working on the hair strands using Photoshop's basic brushes. My goal here is to make simple shapes look more complex, like using thin lines for emphasis or defining the flow of the hair with long strokes. I generally draw the strands of hair in colors that I pick from the character themselves. I'll use the airbrush and the hard round brush along with the lasso tool and color picker to get everything looking the way I want. Sometimes if the hair colors are looking too muddy or dull, I'll add some adjustment layers, like color lookup for example. I'll use it from time to time because it helps me capture unique and aesthetically pleasing color contrasts. I also outline my shadows with strong lines, kinda like line art, to preserve its overall shape. At this stage, I pretty much eyeball everything that I paint. I instinctively know what, where, and how I need to do it because my eyes and hands have gotten used to this style. It's all muscle memory. My favorite way to learn is to observe my favorite artists and then attempt to emulate them. Thinking about how they paint and how they go about capturing a certain look, then doing my best to mirror them has taught me so much. Even if you don't manage to reproduce your favorite artists perfectly, this exercise will definitely help you find your own style. Don't be afraid of using adjustment layers, the liquify tool, or just copy-pasting some minor stuff. These tools exist to make the lives of artists easier. Using tools to get a job done is never cheating. Like towards the end of this, I realized some parts were a bit crooked after flipping the canvas and had to fix most of them with the liquify tool. Some key points are starting with super simple shapes, deciding on a light source, painting light and shadow in a way that creates contrast, and adding individual strands of hair for a fluffy and flowy look. For those who want to practice on the subjects featured in this video, you can find the line art file and the layered PST file for both of them in the description. Thanks for watching and happy learning!